Hey all, Eric the Clues Homesteader here again. I want to talk to you today about Pasty Butt and baby chicks. For those of you new to the channel, this is my first time raising chickens. Family and I are working on a little bit of homesteading and self-sufficiency and just finding our own way in life. I'm going to call it modern homesteading. Still work a 9-to-5 job. Still invest in 401ks, retirement, all that stuff. But I want to do some things on my own and kind of have a little hobby farm to spend our time at. It's something that's important to us and something that we want to build. So thank you for joining us on the journey. Today, I want to talk about Pasty Butt and chickens. Again, first time having them. Right now we have 8 chicks, 2 Spangled Sussexes, 2 Barred Rocks, 2 Rhode Island Reds, and 2 Lavender Orpingtons that are absolutely the most cuddliest chickens I've ever met, and they will just hop into your hands. It's pretty crazy. I'll show those guys a little bit later on, but today what I wanted to talk about was the Pasty Butt. One of our Rhode Island Reds, these chicks are about 2.5 weeks old now, we think. When we got the one of our Rhode Island Reds had a Pasty Butt, and simplest terms, because I don't know the real ones, essentially they just have trouble getting poop away from their vent where they let everything out, and the vent is where they poop and pee and where the eggs come out of. And so we got the Rhode Island Red, and it had Pasty Butt, and the big issue with that is if it gets encrusted on their vent, they can't excrete their feces or urine anymore, and essentially they're going to die from an exploding gut or toxicity that builds up in their system. So it's an important thing to deal with. Did some of my own research, read some books, and kind of decided the best route to go was just to try and scrub it clean as often as we could. I think that ended up putting too much stress on our chick because we had to do it like 2 or 3 times a day in the beginning just to make sure, because it was getting crusted over pretty good. I think that was causing too much stress, so I made the decision just to have one stressful moment with the chick where we soaked it, got it cleaned up, and just a little bit of mild dishwashing soap. Got it all cleaned up. Then I cut all the feathers away that were around the vent and put some Vaseline on it just to help kind of slick things away from there. Dried her off, put her back in the cage. It is important to dry them off because once that part of their skin is exposed, it looks red, looks like something the other chicks might want to peck at, and they will pick on them and keep defeathering them, which I'd noticed before when we were giving the baths to the chick. So I got it all cleaned up, trimmed away the hair, put the Vaseline on there and put her back. And then every so often we would monitor it. Still gave her one more bath after that, I think, and then put the Vaseline on it for like another day or 2. Since then, we noticed that there was a mess, but it wasn't sticking, so we didn't have to do any more work on it. That was probably during the first week. Now we're about 2.5 weeks in. It looks like she's grown big enough that we don't have to worry about it anymore. She's outgrown the problem. And that sounds like the most common thing, is that you just have to take care of it, clean them up, and just hope and pray that they get big enough and outgrow it and the muscles are strong enough and the feathers move away and the vent is big enough, or whatever it is that happens. It just takes time. Looks like we're on the right side of that now, so we're pretty fortunate. I'll show you her setup in here, and then let you see the Rhode Island Red that had the Pasty Butt. I haven't named it yet. The kids and my wife have named all of their chickens. There's 2 left for me to name, and I have not done that yet. But I'm thinking I have names for them. And the one that had Pasty Butt, I'm thinking I might want to name Pilar. Not exactly sure how you say it. From one of the main female characters in the book For Whom the Bell Tolls by Ernest Hemingway. Strong female character who's been through a lot, but is still tough as nails, and I kind of think that fits my Rhode Island Red. So we'll see if I pick that name or not, but I'll show you her real quick, and then I'll let you see what we got going for our chicks. The cage you see here was gracefully lent out to us by my aunt and uncle, who hand-built this for the chickens that they've had in the past. There's an extension piece that we need to get. These 8 in here, getting a little cramped now. They can jump and move quicker, and I'm having to clean it out pretty often. All right, so this is hopefully going to be Pilar here. Like I said, a little bit over 2 weeks old, I believe. And the vent, right here under the tail feathers. Right there, that's the vent. Hopefully it focuses in a little bit for you. So the problem is it's got to excrete out of there and it gets caught up on these feathers. Want to say bye? Bye-bye. Yeah, so that's the vent. It looks like it's nice and clean. All the fluff is cleaned off too. So that's great. Just a quick tour. Got the little heater that they sleep under at night. Got another heat lamp because it is kind of cold and drafty right now. Our weather keeps switching up on us and it gets all windy and it's under 30 degrees at some points right now. So we have it at a steady 80 degrees around the brooder here. And then underneath there is around 90 to 95 degrees, which is about what they need. They say that at 2 weeks old, chicks should have 90 degree weather, or 90 degrees for sleeping and staying warm. Get a little log perch. All right, that's my take on Pasty Butt on little chicks. Like I said, it worked pretty good for me. Go slow, take your time. I was absolutely terrified I was gonna cut the vent or some part of the chick that I didn't want to. But I was able to hold her pretty secure and didn't have too many issues. So if you're having trouble with Pasty Butt, hopefully those tips will work for you. Let me know how it goes.